Welcome back, everyone. We are second week of April. Today is April the 8th. Still snowing, still cold. We had a little bit of a break in between. We did get some plus days, but we are at negative 22 with wind chill today. I guess it's just being part of living here in Canada, the stuff that we deal with. Very bipolar weather, snow, freezing rain, sunny days, back and forth. By now, we would have thought that we would have had great weather to actually take. By yesterday, I've been driving, but to take the GT out, I am a little bit obviously down that I still have not been able to take the GT out. On the plus side from my last video, where anyone that's watched it would have seen I did have a little bit of a health problem that I was dealing with. That's why I've been off of YouTube for the last couple of weeks until I was actually back to normal. Great news is I'm actually back to normal. I'm feeling great. I took those antibiotics for about a week and there was a huge difference by the end of it all. And for anyone that didn't see, I actually had blood poisoning. I had E. coli contamination in my blood just from an external, whatever external reason, I'm not sure. So still doing the test to find all that out, but everything's back to normal. You know, and now it's time to enjoy the cars again. So the GT, as always, waiting very patiently. Again, we're in April, and to still think that we are second week now of April and not be able to take this car out, it comes back to beg that question over and over again. Why do we live in Canada? And especially now with all this tariff stuff going on, which we'll talk about a little bit later. First, I'm gonna head out to Camilo's. We still have the M3. Luckily, I have not switched to the Somerset yet. Sorry, not Somerset, but summer tires. I still have the winters on the G80 M3. So we are gonna take the M3 because it did snow a little bit today. Now the only wild part is it's actually windy. It's 60 kilometers an hour winds on average, you know, 40, 50, 60. So I'm gonna hop in the car real quick. But yeah, again, thankfully we still have the winters. It didn't snow much, but I don't know if everyone can hear the wind, so I'll hop in very fast. But just a little bit of traces snow. Hop in real quick and hit the road. And on the way, we will talk some more about our title. All right. So yeah, for anyone that's watching for long enough knows my actually beard grows super fast. I don't know, it's just kind of a genetic thing, but on the way to Camilo's, get cleaned up, you know, just get a haircut. And I figured on the way, let's talk about, you know, just more of what the title was. So this G80 now, I've had since November, I think, October of 2023. I bought it brand new. I bought it that time, it was including tax, it was 128 for this 2024 manual G80 M3. Still a great, fun car, but sometimes we always like to kind of explore and see if there's anything else available, maybe to switch into and see if we can make the experience a little bit more, somewhat different in a sense. But I've had this car for about a year and a half or so, give or take, right? And I've put 41,000 kilometers on this car. It is my daily driver. That's why I have the winters, of course, on it. Drive it all winter long. Rear wheel drive, manual, great car. I had a rep from BMW that had contacted me and said, hey, like, would you be interested in trading the M3 for an M4 CS? Now, I know you might think, well, why would you switch from an M3 daily with comfort seats, and if you enjoy the car so much, to an M4 CS? This was just something that a representative had brought forward to me, and now it begs to ask the question, is it worth the difference to switch the M3 into an M4 CS, leaving the two cars aside, keeping in mind that this is something I would be daily driving? Is the M4 CS, I want to know from all the viewers here, is it a practical daily car? Now remember, this again has comfort seats, which was one of the main reasons that I wanted this car, because I was driving it day to day. And I'm very on the fence here because the M4 CS is a great car, but you also got to remember, okay, it is a coupe, not a four-door, of course. It is a coupe. It is all-wheel drive. It is a CS car, so you're getting a lot more out of that car, but is it worth the difference? This car, I paid $128 with tax, new with luxury tax factored in. The M4 CS is the one in particular that we're looking at right here, is 156 plus luxury tax. It's about 160 and change, 165 plus HST. So you're around 180, 190 or so, give or take. The M3 used market, even with the kilometers, I've seen some cars listed with 30,000 kilometers of manual you know, they'll range. There's not too many M3 actually 24s even on the market right now, but I've seen them listed retail. Keyword is retail for about 115 plus tax, you know, 110 plus tax. I think maybe the car is max, so about 100 retail. I don't think it's more than that, 100 plus tax retail car. The trade-in offer was a little bit kind of questionable because the dealer, and it's given, dealer will always give you a number that's a lot lower than we expect. The dealer trade-in offer was actually only 78. You got to give them, you know, some respect, of course, because they do need to make their margins, make their money. But I think 78 was a little bit on the lower side. I think as a wholesale trade-in, maybe 88, 89, you know, or maybe 85 to that range, give or take. So it gives the dealer, of course, that room to make their, if they are able to sell it for that retail point, make their, you know, 15 grand or so on the car. The difference, though, that's where it comes in. So if it's only $78,000 on trade-in, the number the dealer gave, but to purchase that car, it's about $165. With the difference even in tax, you're almost about $100,000 difference to get into a new 2025 M4 CS with those, you know, racing seats. Is it worth the extra $100,000? And I know, of course, the M4 CS is an amazing car. It's not comparable, you know, you can't compare the G80 M3, but G80 M3 is still an amazing car. It's still a great car. But can you justify, or should I be able to justify spending an extra $100,000 to go into a year newer but an M4 CS? And that's where I need everyone's opinions. Put up the pictures of the car. What's your intake? Would you say it is worth the extra $100,000, or is it worth it just to keep the M3, keep it as a daily, do some of the mods I wanted to do, like I wanted to do the springs, spacers, downpipes, tune, few, you know, just very light things, nothing crazy, because the majority of my attention into the mods is going to go into the SVJ. That's something I've, of course, all summer long, I love driving over everything else, the GT occasionally. But as a daily, I don't want to go too extreme with the M3. I don't want to go with the crazy tune. I don't want to go overboard. Just want something that still sounds good and is not going to, in a sense, more of a touring example where it's not going to kill your back, but you can still enjoy the sound and still look nice, you know, lowered with the spacers and everything. So that's where I would say need everyone's kind of input. Now, the second thing to this is, where is really the used car market heading? Just like everyone's been seeing on the news, a lot of uncertainty being with the tariffs. Is the used market going to get hotter, more expensive? Cost for tariffs to the manufacturers eventually is passed on to the consumers on new cars. What's that going to do temporarily? Will the tariffs stick around long enough? What's really going to go on? No one knows. Is this going to be another COVID effect where you know, you have limited used cars available on the market because manufacturers just like Range Rover have stopped, put a 30-day halt on you know, producing new vehicles? Is this what's going to take place with other manufacturers? So what's really going to kind of go on with the used car market? You know, it's something to discuss. You know, let me know what you guys think. What's your intake on this? What's your opinion on this? But sadly, the whole trade war and all around is every industry is feeling it. It doesn't matter if, you know, you're a larger corporation, you're a small business, or if you're working 9 to 5. Look at all the auto manufacturing plants where people are being offered voluntary layoffs. It seems like a lot is going to go on in the next, you know, little while. Who knows for how long? What's overall gonna happen? But when we're talking about cars, what does that mean for the used car market? Now, you also got to remember especially in the Canadian market, we're very limited with the amount of cars that were circulating in the used car market, especially on the higher end, because a lot of cars were sent over to the US because of the strong US dollar. A lot of US buyers have bought up a lot of cars. Now that that's closed with the tariffs, cars are not moving over to the US market. Yes, they did put that pause there, but the issue still remains that there is not enough inventory as is to begin with. Then you have auto manufacturers obviously stopping the pausing or stopping production of, you know, vehicles for a small given period of time. That may cause some sort of maybe it doesn't really impact the high-end market as much, but there are many factors. But yeah, let me know. In the meantime, I'm gonna drive over to Camilo's. All right, made it to Camilo's. This is the instant transformation. Anything, Camilo, to say?
It's been I don't know why you waited this long, man, but I'm gonna save your life.
It's only been a few weeks.
But, bro, it looks like it's been like 2 years.
Alright, no. Be right
Now I'm gonna
back.
make him look 10 years younger, you know?
Alright, watch. Alright, we are back in business. So as Camilo would say, completely different person. And now, time to hit the road. I'm gonna quickly go grab lunch with a friend of mine. And that was a quick in out. And so right here, we just hit that, the preset modes. And we are on the road. It's actually crazy because, again, bipolar weather. Now all of a sudden it's all sunny, nice out compared to when we left. Actually, the temperature dropped quite a bit too. We're almost at zero, maybe like -6, 7 with wind chill. But this is Canadian weather, just very unpredictable, very bipolar. And even last week we had a day where out of nowhere it was actually, put the belt on, but it was freezing rain. We had freezing rain, we had snow, and then all of a sudden the next morning, like +17. I don't really honestly know what more to say about our kind of Canadian weather, but it's definitely a surprise. You know, as much as we're used to this, it's very surprising. You don't really know. Yeah, clear, beautiful day now. A little bit different down here. The snow kind of, as you can see, in like 2 hours is already cleared up. But I really desperately need a detail. I know someone's gonna point out that this is way too dusty. Yes, I know. The car definitely needs a very serious detail. DG actually just set up his mobile detail unit as well, so now it's gonna be a lot more easier. But yeah, we had some pretty active weather and just very normal. You get a lot of kind of debris, flying stuff, I guess, with the weather. But also, I think this year is going to be very fun with a lot of the drives and cruises and stuff, because we have a lot of the guys that over the winter actually bought cars. So we have Rafe and Jack. The previous video, two videos back, I believe, it was the Corvette Z06 that when we went to go drive, you'll see Jack and Rafe in that video. Jack picked up a 720S and Rafe picked up a yellow Revolto. And then Afan actually right now just sent me videos. He's at Rolls-Royce. He just picked up a Ghost. He bought a blue. It's actually a pretty cool spec. It's blue with blue and black white mixed interior. Pretty unique interior. So excited for, you know, everyone to be out and cruising this season. And congrats to everyone that did get you know, the cars that they were looking for and picked up a lot of cool cars through the winter months. And this summer season, of course, you will see them all out on the road, and I can't wait to show pretty much everyone kind of how the group's been progressing and more of the cars that everyone's kind of been getting into and moving into. And hopefully we can start making some more videos of even individuals and kind of the collections that each of the individuals have and we're able to kind of build up. So I think this year will be very active. We're finally kind of out of those winter slow, not much kind of going on down here winter months. And I'm pretty excited to just show everyone a lot of the great stuff that actually goes on down here, minus the snow, minus the cold. All right, just had lunch and now gonna head out. Gonna stop by Marinetti Motors for anyone that knows. But before we leave, San Antonio Foods, probably one of the best places to grab a sandwich in Vaughan Woodbridge area if you are from the area. So Paul just got everything done for his new 812, Capistrano exhaust, HRE wheels, Novitec suspension, tune, and the color itself, even in person, is pretty thick too. The interior is pretty nice too. These are actually, I would say right now, one of the best cars if you are in the market for a Ferrari. Definitely look at 812s. They're probably one of the best sounding, aside from obviously the crazy variants. You know, obviously all the Ferrari limited variants, I would say this is the #1 car to get yourself into. These are actually pretty sick cars too. There's a full unicorn right here too. These are pretty dope too. For anyone that's into classic Mercedes and stuff. Paul's obviously car is beautiful. These are all sick cars too. Ultimate, Paul has an Ultimate too. And mainly just to show that Marinetti has a lot of great examples of very, very good quality cars. So if you're from GTA, well, actually not even GTA, because Paul Marinetti, so not to mix it up, my other friend here, Paul, and Marinetti, Paul, between Paul and Paul, speaking of Marinetti, Paul has probably the prime of the prime pieces. Paul sends all units pretty much all across North America. Most of these cars are international market cars, the right examples. So he's very familiar obviously with selling the cars to the US. If you're in the US and you're looking for an actual good spec clean car, hit up Paul at Marinetti. Somehow the video started off with talking about the M3, switching the M3 into the M4 CS, and ending up looking at some Hypers, Supers, and some very nice 812s and Pistas. Yeah, that took a big twist there, but yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, Marinetti is a great dealership here local in Vaughan. Make sure you check them out. Now I'm gonna head back home. Look at that. It's 0 and it feels actually warm. But yeah, so with that being said, I'm gonna end the vlog here. Thank you everyone that's continued to support, to watch the videos. I'm gonna be as active as possible in posting more and more videos. So please make sure you subscribe, comment, like, and let us know if there's anything else that you do want to see. Thank you.